Welcome back to another episode of Uber Gear. In this episode, we're going to be installing a cargo net here into this 2016 Honda Accord. It actually comes as a kit from Honda directly, as you can see.
Not sponsored.
This kit is for 2016 and 2017 Honda Accords. They have other ones for different year ranges, but you just have to put it in and figure out what you need. It does come with the cargo net, the clips, and the studs, plus the Rivnuts that you need to install, and as well as these templates here for drilling, basically cutting a hole in the panel, in the two trim panels in the trunk, for a 15 millimeter hole saw that you need to use for that. We'll also need a 9 millimeter drill bit to enlarge 4 holes for these Rivnuts to go into, and we also need a couple of prying tools just to get the clips out of the trunk. And the last tool we need, and probably the most important, is the Rivnut installation tool. Now, this is the Honda Genuine one. It's actually made by LEM Tools, so I'll try and figure out what the actual part is that's not from Honda, and we'll try and include that in the description, so you don't have to pay for this. But yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so here we are in the trunk. Our first step when we're installing this cargo net is we gotta fold down the back seats so we can get this trunk floor out here. Well, it's not the trunk floor, but it's the spare tire cover out of the way. So on Hondas, that's really easy. You just pull out. That one's open. Open up the back door. You just fold down. If I got this one, hopefully I did. Nope, I didn't. I'll just pull on that. Okay, so to remove this spare tire cover here, we got 2 clips. We got one here, and we got one over here. And these are just little plastic fir tree clips. You can use one of these little plastic deals. Here you can just kind of pull down and just slowly wriggle her out. Got that popped up a little higher. I'm going to use this one. Okay, you can see it there. Go over here, do the same thing, push down, and get under it. All I gotta do is get one click. There we go. Okay, those are out. You'll see that this is loose, and we can take the whole board out now. Lift up, so basically it's a couple of boards that are connected together with a piece of, very thin fabric. So make sure you grab underneath the whole thing and don't try and pull it just by this front piece, because you're going to have a problem. The glue will delaminate and it won't be fun. So in order to remove this rear trim panel here, this is our next step. We have a couple of basically hooks and clips that are secure this in place. Now, according to the manual, there are 6 clips, 3 on each side here, and 5 different little hooks. 2 on each side here, 1 in the center someplace. You can feel it about there. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and unhook it from this piece on either side. Take your time here so nothing cracks. We want to go up like that. And there. It's loose. And now we can just kind of lift it out. So you can see on the back what we were up against here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips. Okay, now that we got our rear trim panel out, we're free to go ahead and take this panel out of here. So our next step is basically to take our hook off over here. All Hondas have these. They're a little hanger hook. And if you notice on the side right here, well, I'm not sure if you can see it, there are 2 little, basically they're a lever, right? So you pull on this on both sides, you squeeze up and towards you, and it just comes off. So if you see here, on the back side, you can see these guys, and as you squeeze them, they pull the square in so that you can take it out. Now, next step is we're going to remove these, I call them plastic rivets because they're reusable plastic rivets, but what I have here is just a tiny little flathead screwdriver, and there is a notch on each one of these little rivets that you can pry under to get at it, and you can see they just kind of pop up like that. And if you can't get to it, just rotate it around a little. Okay, there you go. And see, they just come right out. You don't have to fight them. You shouldn't have to fight them. I think that's all for those style clips. Now we have one of these, which is just a fir tree clip underneath, and then we also have another fir tree clip right here. So I'm going to try and get this one out first here. I'm just going to try and pull under. Okay, that's actually a plug, but and then this is going to be a little bit more tricky because we got to get something in here that will get us underneath it and not break anything. Although we aren't reusing this clip, so. Oh, there it goes. Here it is. That's out. All right, so our next step in removing this piece here is if you look closely here, you'll see that from right about here all the way down to here, the weather stripping overlaps this panel here, which basically means we have to pop it up and off of it in order to be able to get it out. So if you just kind of pull on it here, gently, get her off of here like this. All right, there you go. Get it out of here. All right, now I think there's another clip back there that I can't see from here. Okay, so as we can see here, here's the last clip that we have to take out. Actually, no, I lied. There's another one right there too. Yeah, that one's gotta come too. So there's two clips back here. There's a white one, and there's this black one down here. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out. That one's out. Now I'm going to get this guy out right here. I apologize for terrible camera work. This is probably going to go flying. Oh, it definitely did. Alright, we got our clip out here. Can't see it because it's dark, but there are the two of them. So now we're going to go ahead and take this trim piece out. We've gotten all of our clips free. Be careful with it. It does have to come up over some wiring harnesses and a few other things. Okay. Where are we stuck back there? Oh, I got to wrap it around. It does kind of, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a bend right here in this molded carpeting piece, and that goes over this rear wall section in the trunk and underneath this plastic piece. That's why I was a bit stuck. All right, here we go. There we are. There it is. It's out of the car. And then in a few minutes, we're going to basically put our template on here and use the saws and everything to, or like use the drill bit to widen this hole here. Well, you'll rejoin us in a second. As part of this installation, we need to enlarge a hole on each side. There is a 7mm hole here, and that needs to be enlarged to 9mm so that we can put this Rivnut through here. As you can see, it works. Doesn't work, but that's the 9mm is the same size as this drill bit here. Now what we did was we went ahead and taped it up so that we have basically to prevent ourselves from going too deep through here. So the instructions recommend basically taping it at 20mm, so you just have just enough of it so you can kind of skim this hole and open it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Oops.
So much for the tape.
Yeah. So much for the tape indeed. I have to take some of these burrs off of here. Jesus. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm basically just putting tape over the paint here so I don't scratch it while I just take this burr off the edge of the... Oh boy. There it is. Okay. That works. So what I'm doing now is I'm basically installing the Rivnut tool into the Rivnut here. Make sure this seats nicely. Okay. So this holds it, and then I'm going to turn this guy basically back into it, and it's going to suck this in. So I need a wrench. Give me 2 seconds. So here's the Rivnut installation tool. It uses a 19mm wrench, and you hold it in place with this Allen key, and basically we start doing one of these. This guy. Let me take this off. That's loose. Okay, and I can just back her out like this. We have one nicely installed Rivnut. Alright, so we're going to basically run this all the way in, all the way till it stops. I'll go a little bit more like that. Alright, so then this guy goes in here like this, and we take our tool. Definitely want to get them in here straight. So run this down. Okay, how are we looking? Pretty good. A little wobbly there, but not too bad. Remember, this thing is left-handed thread on the thing here, so it should just come out like so. Okay, there we are. Installed. Alright, so we got our trim panel here on the table. And one of the first steps we have to do before we modify the trim panel is actually we're going to cut a small piece of this insulating, or I guess it's an insulating foam, out of here, because that hole is going to be drilled right in the middle of this. So we want to just basically cut. Don't go through this now. Cut a little square out, like so. That'll allow us to get through there. Now, if I turn this over, you can see that we have taped our template in place here. And I'm going to put another piece of tape on the bottom right there. But that's where we're going to be drilling with our hole saw. Basically through this plastic. And then we're just going to make a little hole in it. So I'm going to put another piece of tape on there right now. Tape that over pretty well, tape the bottom, tape the side. Here's the alignment mark here. This is in the center of this. So I'm going to poke a hole through this with the awl just so we have a spot. I'm not sure that this... They say to use a Sharpie or a felt tip marker or something to mark it, but I'm not sure we're going to, get it marked pretty well. So we're just going to do this. And I can see through it now, so there's a hole on the other side. So we're probably going to have to take a little bit more of this insulation off. So now it says to remove the template. We'll pull this out. There's our hole. Alright, so we're going to use this hole saw. You can see our mark right there. I'm going to go through. Alright. Uh-oh. That's why they tell you to take the rest of that insulation off the bottom, because, damn. That was dumb. Alright, let's try not to do that again. Alright, so you can see my hole is here. If you look at this, what happened was the drill bit caught this and tore the fabric. So I'm going to take some 3M spray adhesive and just put this back. But what I want to do is make sure I get enough of this off that I can see the hole through. I have to take it back a little bit here. There's the hole. Now, move this thing back like that. Shake up your can real good. Probably been sitting around for a while. So we're just gonna try and follow the same factory spots here. Glue that down best we can. I'll let that sit there for a second. Alright, so we're going to reinstall this right side trim panel now. Again, we're just going to do it in the reverse order that we took it out. And we're going to test fit our hole right here, make sure it lines up with our Rivnut. And then this hole right here, or this hole right here, one of them, probably this one. Make sure everything lines up. And then we'll install the clips, and then the screw-in ones. Make sure that all lines up, and yeah. All right, here we go. Here it comes. Oh, there's a screwdriver in the way, and a drill. We're looking on this side. All right. Yep. Is that behind everything over there?
Sort of. Yeah.
looking good. That's lined up. That's lined up beautifully. Yeah, that'll do it. So here, I'm just going to screw this into this. Bam. And then this guy, he goes in here. Same deal with the top clip. Screw her in. There you go. One goes up here. I'll put my trim clips back. This weird little rubber one goes here. So these guys go up here. Got one there. Another here. Alright, now what we gotta do is get this over top of the trim panel nicely. It doesn't look like crap. Too bad, not too bad. Alright, I'm missing one more fir tree clip there and this guy. So the fir tree clip right in here, like so. And this dude clips in there. Alright, that's that done. We have two more clips back there we gotta do. And then we could put this panel back in and the trunk floor back in. Alright, this guy will go back in there. Boom. Okay, so now we're going to put our rear trim panel back in. And again, if you remember, we got to deal with these two, this one, and these two, as well as these 6 clips. So, I'm going to try and get it all lined up. You can see here, we got these two, got this, these two. So, pressed in. Okay. Put this in the air. Put this into here. There we go. All set. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put my accessory tire crap tray back in here. And you can't screw it up because there's an arrow that points this way. And now for the trunk floor. Okay. Now, here's the flap for the seat. There's the hole for the clip. We're going to basically make a sandwich, line them up, push them in. Same thing on this side. Let's look where we're at. Okay. Make sure everything is good. And push her down. There we go. Finally, we're going to install our cargo net, and as you can see, the clip up here, so this just goes over like that. That jams it in there. Go down to this one, same deal on this side, loop it around, and down to here. Nice area to put your groceries in so stuff doesn't go flying around the car, or you can just use it, you know, stop it. Alright, so that's our cargo net installed. I'm not really sure why Honda doesn't include these from the factory, because they are really handy. I mean, just putting grocery bags between here and this to stop your stuff from rolling all over the car is really useful. That's why I put it in to this car. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll include any useful links in the description below, just so you have all the tools you need and whatever you'd like to do. We actually can even include a link to the instructions that you'll need to install it. The Honda actually provides a nice a couple pages of instructions on how to do this, so we figured we'd make a video on it just to help anybody out who might have one of these cars and wants to put it in. Thanks for watching.
Do what you feel, keep both of you on that wheel. You don't have to go home, but you can definitely watch our next video. Till next time, kids.